to this. All right, so we're starting again. My name is Richard Lee. I'm a retired immigration officer. I worked in fraud detection and national security. Before I retired, I was also an instructor at the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center for a number of years. Uh, and I've just been dealing with people who have had some issues with immigration and trying to get, you know, trying to get something going with that. So what I will say is the views expressed in here are not mine. This is for educational purposes to kind of make people aware of what goes on out there and for a good reason, um, and to try to help protect U.S. citizens. We'll say it that way. Now, I ask that you don't use anyone's name other than our own because we're here, but we just run into trouble if we use their names at this stage. We may do that later. But I have with me today Penny Stone, and if you want to just introduce yourself real quick, who you are, and then we'll go from there.
Hi, I'm Penny Stone. I'm from Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. Me too. Well, my family's from there too. We were talking about this before we got online, so that's good. So why don't we start out with you said that and I'll fill in some of the stuff real quick as you were married until 2014. Your husband passed away, and so then you also you found out in 2022 that you have MS. Was it
Yes,
2022 or 2022 when you have MS? And in
April.
between that, yeah, I'm sorry. Can you say that again?
It was April of 2022.
It's April of 2022. And so you were kind of single from 2012 or 2014 to 2017. And you said now we're talking about your foreign spouse that you now had, and you met someone, and you said in 2017, is that right? On a dating
Yes,
site. On a dating site.
I did. I met a man from Cuba on a dating site.
Cuba.
Never thought I'd be on one of those.
No, now one of the things I like to say is that you said that you like to dance, and so you heard that Latins like to dance. And I will tell you this: my wife and I love Latin dance. We're big. We used to do salsa dance a lot because we really love salsa dancing, and we had kids. It's really hard for us to get out now, but and she's working, but I love to dance too. I think it's a great activity and very good for you and healthy.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's what I was interested in.
Yeah.
I thought it would help me walk better. I was having troubles,
Trouble
and I
walking.
didn't understand why.
I understand. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. You didn't
you
really
know,
know that you had MS until I'm sorry.
sorry,
When did you discover you had MS again?
April of 2022.
Yeah, but you had it before then. It was just that's when you were diagnosed, right?
I actually feel like I've discussed this with the doctor. I feel like I've had this since I was 10 years old.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Everyone differently.
Mhm.
I was lucky enough
Mhm.
to go through my life and have a career, have children, get a decent pension.
Yeah.
Some people did not get that at all, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of internal dialogue as well.
Yeah.
When you take your car to the mechanic
Mhm.
and tell them it's acting up, but you can't reproduce it, you
Yes.
start, is it in
I
your
think
head?
and that happens all the time, right? So
Yes.
you met him on a dating site, and then in 2017. Now, when did and you told me you went to visit him, right, in Cuba?
I did in November of 2017.
And how long were you there?
Sorry.
How long did you go
I,
to Cuba?
I was there I got there in October. I stayed about 2 weeks. So from
Okay.
October to November.
Okay. Okay, good. And I'm just trying to shorten it up because you've already told me some of this. I want to say now you said that he had a wife before you, he was married before you, and he had a
Yep.
child, right?
Yes.
And he was telling you, I'm sorry, scratch my, is that probably not a problem? Now you said that he was telling you that he didn't think the child was his, right?
Correct.
And how old is the child? Do you know how the child was then?
At that at the point I was speaking to him when I initially met him,
Yeah.
or when I was in
Yeah.
Cuba.
When you went to Cuba, how old was the child?
She was about 11 months old at that point. Or
11
no,
months.
months old.
10 months old. Okay. Yeah. And is that the only child he had?
He had a stepdaughter.
He has a stepdaughter? Okay. Okay. So, so he told you, did he tell you they was married or did he tell you that he wasn't married or?
He uh he said that he was not married.
Okay. Okay. Um, did you find out whether he was really married or not or?
No, I didn't know
Yeah.
how to I
Yeah.
didn't
That's
know how to do all that.
okay.
I
And he may
asked
not be.
him I asked him several different ways and
Mhm.
in many ways, we talked about, oh, so you co-parent well,
Mhm.
you know, that she lets you see the
Yeah.
child.
Yeah.
He claims she was hateful.
Yeah.
He couldn't see his child for Father's Day.
Yeah.
Um, the child lives with her.
Mhm.
They didn't live together,
Yeah.
on and on and on.
So he was really he was really, kind of like blaming her for everything, right? It was all her fault. Everything was her fault. She was the bad person. He's just a saint in the process, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
typical. That's so common. I said. So you met in 2017, and then when did you guys start talking about him coming to the US?
That was within just a few weeks
Within a few
of
weeks.
and him emailing or being friends on
Yeah.
Facebook.
And
I think
did he ask you to come here or did you ask him to come here?
um he he asked about coming here, the
Yeah.
different visas that might be possible,
Yeah.
and I was pushing back with, hey, what's the work like in Cuba? I make a lot of money here, but maybe I could go there and
Yeah. Live much more comfortably.
get into a relationship.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, no, no, you wouldn't like it here. No, no, no.
Yeah.
It'd be better if I came there.
Yeah.
And there were all different types of visas that we were discussing, and it was rather quick.
Was it? Yeah. Yeah. And so I'm assuming you filed for him what they call a K-1 visa, a fiance visa. Did you file a fiance visa for him or?
We talked about it,
Yeah.
and we talked about many visas:
Yeah.
student visa, um, religious visa,
Yeah.
tourist visa,
Yeah.
and um, eventually, by sometime after, well, no, it might have been before November, we had discussed the marriage visa.
Okay. Yeah. So did you get married? Did you go back to Cuba again?
I did in 2018, and we
When
got married.
and you got married in 2018. And so then
Yeah.
you filed a visa for him to go. But so did he discuss, I guess I should stop here just real quick. So was he the one to discuss the different types of visas, the marriage visa, the R1 visa, or any
We
of that?
both did.
You
He
you
didn't
were
know what was available.
okay, when no,
And yeah, it
okay,
was pretty good.
okay.
Along with him saying he loves me, and um, I'm perfect for him,
Yeah,
along those lines, and that we should get married. I think that was within 2 months.
yeah. Within two
He
months,
asked
yeah.
me to be his fiance
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
married.
Well, I like to use the term love bombed a lot of times. Did you feel like you were being love bombed? Just oh, I love you. You're the apple of my eye. The sun doesn't shine unless you're in my
Yeah.
presence. Was that kind of the way? Yeah, yeah.
Yes, and
And
he did not want to discuss the spouse.
his his wife, he didn't want to talk about her. Yeah, she's just the devil. Yeah, that's it. I got you. I
Yeah.
understand. Typical. Um, so he didn't want to talk about her. She's the bad guy. It's not my kid. That's very common. I just finished one the same way. So did so you filed for him in 2018 and you guys just had to wait. How long did you wait before you actually got a visa to come here?
It was 22, February
2022.
22. We finally got to go to Guyana.
Okay, you went to Guyana. Okay.
Mhm.
And then I'm sorry.
Uh, I actually had a back surgery in August of 21. I
Mhm.
hadn't been working, and he was very, very upset about that. He wanted me to get right back to work. Um,
Hmm.
And I kept telling him, I just had a major back surgery at the Mayo Clinic in Rochester.
Yeah.
Uh, and still, yet he pushed me to talk to my doctor about an early release.
Yeah. Uh,
Every time I went over there, I took 70-pound bags of like food, clothes, medication.
yeah. How many times did you go visit him?
I would have to look up my passport.
Oh, no, that's fine. That's not that way. So he got here in 2022,
Yes, March of
March of 22.
2020.
Okay.
And
And can you just kind of take me through when you met him, the kind of love, and then from March of 22, uh, how did that go?
um, not well.
Yeah.
He actually started being really um snotty, really mean,
Mhm.
very pushy about me going to work.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, he was pushing me so much about going back to work
Yeah.
that um, after visiting him, I went in November and December and
Mhm.
spent a month each time with him and his parents.
Yeah.
Um, when I got back, I packed my bag and I took off to go sign the books. I was an electrician,
Mhm.
and I was going to go to work and got an early release from my doctor for light duty.
Yeah.
And I didn't make it. By the time I took off down I-40, by the time I got to Albuquerque or Gallup,
Mhm.
um, he was, uh, the fraud was calling me and saying he got accepted. We got our interview.
Okay.
While I was there, while I was there in Cuba, he was gone a lot.
Was he?
He wouldn't um, talk to me much. Um, I didn't understand what was going on
Yeah. So he just disappeared and left you alone for the time, a lot of time.
with his parents. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, the day I got there, I hadn't seen him for 2 years,
Mhm.
having just had this back surgery.
Yeah.
I had my carry-on.
Yeah.
Um, my pillow was full of clothes.
Yeah.
My bags were 70-pound bags,
Yeah.
which I had to manipulate.
Mhm.
Um, I don't remember if he was at the airport to pick me up. That's how this
Yeah.
MS worked. I just can't remember. But when we got to
Mhm.
his house where he supposedly lived,
Mhm.
um, he started looking through the bags.
Mhm.
His daughter needed milk, and it's 10:30 at night,
Yeah.
10:30, 11 o'clock at night.
Mhm.
She's 5 years old, almost six at this point.
Mhm.
She needed milk this late at night.
Yeah.
Uh, but it was decent of him to get cleaned up and brush his teeth and put on deodorant and cologne to go take his daughter milk at 10:30 at night. And
Yeah.
I hadn't even gotten a hug and hadn't seen him in 2 years.
Yeah. Really? So you got there, he's getting dressed, shaving, putting on clothes, and he's got to go out.
The nice clothes that I brought
Yeah.
him,
Yeah. Put those on.
yes,
How long
and
was he
then
gone?
hours.
Hours. Disappeared for hours. Yeah. Teeth. Um, that's a telltale sign. It's sad. So you were there. He ran off. You said you didn't see him much while you were there. Then, and then he ended up coming back here in 2022. You said,
Yes.
yeah. Now, did he fly into Oklahoma City or to Tulsa?
Um, I met him in Guyana because my intention was to be able to go into the interview and talk to somebody.
Yeah.
because I didn't feel right. I personally, my health, I didn't feel good,
Yeah.
but this, it wasn't right.
Yeah.
What I was getting from him didn't feel right,
Mhm.
but I needed someone to talk to.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and again, you have VMS, so you've got some real issues, some health issues going on, mental issues, and yeah, and
Yeah, and I still didn't know at that
yeah,
point. I just knew I couldn't understand what I couldn't understand.
I got you. Yeah, it makes
And
sense.
I had gone because I wanted to talk to USCIS about what was going on.
Yeah.
And instead, we got an email saying that I was not invited,
Yeah.
that that because this is a new opening, COVID's ending,
Mhm.
I was not allowed to go
Yeah.
to the interview.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, that's Department of State actually is the one's going to interview him there. That's yeah. So you didn't even go. Uh, that's sad, but they are very short interviews when they do them. A lot of times, it's very brief interviews. Anyways, it's not a big. It's not like what USCIS would do here in the States. They're 5 minute interviews most of the time, very quick.
I thought I would have someone come by in all this time since
Mhm.
I applied for the visa. I thought someone would show up to talk to me.
Yeah.
I thought someone would call to talk to me. I thought I would be invited in to go talk to people,
Yeah.
and I didn't have any of that.
Yeah. Well, and they don't really. Uh, Quite frankly, they don't do a lot anymore anyway. They're almost not even allowed to suggest to you that there could be something wrong. It's gotten to where they don't, that they really discourage officers from asking questions in a way that might make you feel like they can't ask you, oh, do you really think he's marrying you for love? Do you think this is good? Don't you think this could be fraud? They can't ask you any of that anyway anymore. And they don't because they just don't let them do that anymore
I need
anyways.
something like that.
Yeah, and I think you need somebody to tell you, let's look at some of these timelines, but they don't, and a lot of the officers aren't even trained to do that anymore. So that's it. So he got here immediately, he started acting different. Now, how long did you guys, when did he get here again? Did you say March of 2022 or March
March of 22. He was acting differently before
before
then.
that? But you'd already been married, and he got here. Now he flew in. Did you guys fly into the United States together? Did you come back together?
We He was very angry that I stayed in Guyana the whole time.
Oh, really?
Because, he didn't want me there. He kept disappearing there as well.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the hostel guy, the
Mhm.
guy that owned the hotel we
Yeah.
were at, after he went in for his interview in front of me,
Yeah.
the man, he was from Cuba too. He was telling Ari, now you start, uh, when you ask her something, you tell her yes or no. We hadn't even left Guyana. I mean, he just had his interview, and that the guy that owns the hotel is
Yeah.
telling him how to start treating me.
Really? So, yeah.
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 Then we went to New York, and then so we flew in and out from Tulsa.
Did you? Okay. And then so he came and stayed with you and told in your at your home in Oklahoma. How
Yeah.
long did you guys live together?
I threw him out about October 31st of 23.
Of 23. So a little over a year. Yeah.
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 We lived
And
here with my son, who's also an adult.
yeah, and so what prompted that? What was his behavior like while he was living with you?
Immediately, I mean, he's been this way, telling me I stink,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, telling me, I mean, a month later,
Mhm.
exactly a month later,
Yeah.
I get the news I have MS.
Yeah.
As I pass him in the hall, he's clinging to the wall like Spider-Man
Mm-hmm.
and telling me that my MS is a sexual disease.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he even had his daughter, who was 5, just turned 6,
Mm-hmm.
calling me La puta de Americana.
What?
Es la puta de Americana.
Really?
Um,
Now, what does that mean?
she's the whore from America.
Oh, he had his daughter telling you that. Okay.
She was sick.
Yeah. Little
I would
kid.
maybe something like that. She just turned 6 in December.
Yeah. Oh, that's so,
After all, I mean, I was told that his I was told that where the children lived with their mother,
mhm.
that there was no roof. And during the hurricane season, there was just pouring rain down in them,
Mhm.
on them. So I bought them an apartment. I
Yeah.
gave him the money, $4,000,
Mm.
to buy them an apartment so that they could live somewhere decent,
Yeah.
you know, somewhere a little safer.
Mhm.
Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I know this is very emotional, very painful.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. It's okay.
Back to when he got here, he started telling me I'm trying to help him get set up here and understand how it works here.
Mhm.
He's never driven a car. So I have him in my black Kia and I let him drive just on the dirt road
Yeah.
up to the legal road. So he
Mhm.
can drive back and forth there just to get a little practice in before he gets his driver's permit.
Yes.
When he's telling me I'm controlling him
Mhm.
by not letting him drive on the road, the
Mhm.
legal road.
Yeah.
He's telling me I'm controlling him because I demanded that he get a driver's permit before drive
Mhm.
before driving.
Yeah.
I'm controlling him because I want him to get a permit here in Oklahoma. It's
Mhm.
the law.
Yeah.
I'm controlling him because once he immediately has that permit, he's never driven on any road, mind you. He wants to immediately start driving on the highway.
Yeah.
He and he did not let up on this pressure.
Mhm.
The I was trying to find, he didn't have any permanent kind of work
Mhm.
until February of 23.
Mhm.
So um I'm sorry, I forgot where I was going.
Oh no, so
Anyway,
almost a year without work. Almost a year.
yeah,
Came in March and no work for a year. Yeah.
he tried some places. He was supposed to know English by this point.
Yeah.
No, no, no.
No.
So he started at a brick plant, and that lasted 2 hours.
Mhm.
He he went some other places. I was trying to get him into my union as a CW because um he could he could do low level things and earn a better wage,
Yeah.
like he there are one man lifts that the electrician will go in, and
Mhm.
but you have to have a ground person to watch around and make
Yeah.
sure you're not going to run into anything in these very technical places.
Yeah.
So we went to Albuquerque, and by then he's driving on the highway. And at that point, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place.
Yeah.
He starts berating me
Mhm.
because I didn't let him get a CDL permit to begin with
Mhm.
because he wanted to start driving semis.
Yeah.
instead of cars. And I'm controlling him because of that.
Yeah, but he's got to take a class and test and all that. It's a long process. That's
Oh,
much.
no, that's me controlling him.
Yeah. No, I understand.
That's so we tried to get him a job at Albuquerque because they speak more Spanish over there.
Yeah.
And we have to wait. There's a time period because they have to do background checks on this guy.
Sure.
Um, so I told him we're gonna go up to Moab. I want to see some things since we're stuck in the area.
Yeah.
And down to Vegas, over to Phoenix, and then back up. Um, and he was pressuring me so much that I wouldn't let him drive on the highway because at this point it wasn't just a 2-lane highway.
Mhm.
There's 6 lanes,
Yeah.
one direction, and he's pushing me so much that I I feel I just can't bear it anymore. I actually pulled over. I got in the passenger seat. I thought this would have him admit
Mhm.
that he was pushing me on purpose.
Yeah.
He did not. He could not admit that because it would be admitting that he's doing this.
Yeah.
He got the driver's seat and started driving. I let him do
Mhm.
the air conditioner. Her worked well,
Mhm.
and by the time he was done, we pulled over. He had sweat rings under his arms and on the front of his shirt because he was, pardon me, he was scared shitless.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted him to
Let's
feel,
see.
that because
Yeah.
he had been pushing me so much.
Yeah. So yeah, so it sounds so it made you feel like well he accused you of being controlling now. Um, so what ended up happening that you ended up separating? Why did you end up separating, throwing him out?
Um, in July, I went in the hospital for about a week.
Mhm.
Um, I um I got out for about a week. I'd been getting stem cell treatment in Houston.
Yeah.
He never went to any of this with me.
Hmm.
By then he was working at a company in Wagner. And like I said, he never went with me to the any medical stuff. And he was actually very snotty with me because I asked him to take me to the ER.
Hmm.
So I went in for a week. I was out for a week to go to treatment. When I came back, I had to go right back in the hospital over here in Muskogee.
Hmm.
And that's when I found out the nurse was very professional with me, kept it together. And he said I had several blood clots in my arm and
Hmm.
leg and in my lung. So I had a
That's
pulmonary
very
embolism.
dangerous. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this man, he couldn't hold my hand, couldn't stroke my hair, could he was petulant
Hmm.
and pushing me that I should have my son come get me and let him go.
Hmm.
He'd been on the phone a lot.
Yeah.
When I was released from the hospital, when you're released, you're supposed to have someone there to pick you up.
Yeah.
And they made me promise you're not going anywhere. You just sit here and wait at the door for him to drive up.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. They left me there and he started contacting me and telling me he couldn't find the entrance to the hospital and that I needed to walk like a quarter to a half mile to the nearest road to find him because he's driving around. He couldn't find where I was at.
Yeah.
So I walked with all of my things, and and eventually he pulled up and picked me up.
Mhm.
I He was spending a lot of time on the phone. He convinced me. I don't know
Who
how.
was he
He
talking
convinced
to?
me. Yeah, who was he talking to? I did a bin verified and came up with a man living nearby who was a convict,
Mhm.
and my husband told me he was gay.
Mhm.
I have I have proofs to show that he was saying this. He hadn't been touching me.
Yeah.
We had we had had intimate contact one time in since March of, no, excuse me, December of 21
Mhm.
up to this point. He told me he was gay. I Yes, I
Mhm.
did this. I took his underwear, I took pictures, I fluorescence the
Yeah.
underwear.
Yeah.
It seemed as if it was glowing. I got a sperm test kit
Yeah.
and I took pictures of it and I tested each one. It didn't come back. He was not gay. I On the 31st,
Mhm.
I contacted this number
Mhm.
and said, you know what? If you're so desperate to be talking to a married man, blah, 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 you should come over for Thanksgiving dinner, you know.
Yeah.
And she started, it was the girl he was working with. He was having an affair. And I think he actually got her pregnant and abandoned her.
Oh, really?
I threw him out.
So
She said she had,
you thought it was
sorry.
a guy. He was telling you it was a guy, but he was really with another woman. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Before that happened, before I called, um, sorry, sorry for those that are sensitive out there.
Yeah.
I wanted to set him up yet again
Mhm.
to confess. And
Yeah.
I said, oh, honey, you don't need that guy. He's a convict. Let's go to the green door. That way you'll be safe. You'll
Mhm.
have what you want. A lot of men to choose from.
Mhm.
And let's get dressed up and go.
Yeah.
He flipped. At that point, he said, I'm not gay. I want a divorce and I want sex.
Yeah.
And I couldn't think. I felt like, oh my gosh, he's messing with my head again.
Mhm. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
And I let him. I didn't fight him. I let him. It's
Oh.
only the second time we'd been intimate since like December of 21. I thought he's just messing with me again. I
Yeah.
don't know.
I'm sorry.
I don't know if this is considered rape by deception or
Yeah.
not. I mean,
Yeah.
I was complacent. I was I was complacent and loud, but I mean, I'm not a ward of this state, and I wasn't his ward. So
No.
apparently, this didn't abuse.
Oh, I
I'm
think it's
sorry.
very much abuse. Yeah. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Well, who's gonna believe me?
Mm.
The man that couldn't stand to touch me, suddenly he wants sex. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know what to do. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, it's okay. I understand. It's very painful.
So, anyway, on the
Mhm.
31st, I contacted this number. I was sick of it.
Yeah.
And she sent me pictures of herself.
Yeah.
And she also chopped up, she said she was going to send me the text, but the snapshots of what she sent me did not correlate
Mm.
with my phone bill.
Yeah.
So she is being deceptive on her own
Yeah.
for certain reasons, whether it's to protect me, protect herself,
Or,
or protect him. I don't know.
yeah. Well,
I
what did
don't
some of
know.
the texts say? Were there anything?
Interesting. He was telling her the same thing he told me. He only had a wife, an ex-wife, excuse me, and a child in Cuba.
Mhm.
Um, and I still have this stuff.
So you still have all the
Um,
texts? Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, did he say that he had a wife in Cuba on those texts?
Ex-wife,
Oh, he had an ex-wife. Okay.
wife and a child in Cuba.
Okay.
No one was here.
Well,
No one helped me.
did you get a divorce decree for him from Cuba?
Yes.
Oh, you did get a divorce decree.
In the I was going through all of that stuff that I put together
Yeah.
for the embassy, and I started taking pictures of it. And I thought, you know what? Pictures aren't good enough.
Yeah.
I got a scan on my phone and I started scanning it. And
Okay.
I went over, I found the divorce certificate and I read it, and it's in Spanish.
Yeah.
Um, and it just didn't feel right. I read it again and again. It has his wife's identical twin sister's name on the divorce certificate,
Oh, really?
not hers. Yeah. Can you imagine? Do they really, in these other countries,
Yeah.
do they validate? I mean, when couples go in to get a divorce,
Yeah.
we want a divorce, we want a divorce. Do they ask for the marriage license, or do
Well,
they just,
it depends. And I mean, because a lot of times in a lot of countries like that, to be honest with you, they don't even have to go in to get a divorce. They can just they can get an official that they pay money to and bribe to get a divorce certificate that's never really submitted. It just looks like a valid one. I've seen that a lot. I don't know that that's what happened, but in a lot of those countries, a lot of that stuff is not real at all. It just isn't.
if they show up with their identification
Yeah,
and money, that's all they care about?
that's right. Yeah, that's all they need. Yeah. So if now did you have his marriage certificate from Cuba? You didn't
No,
get it? Okay, you didn't
no,
get
I've
it.
not seen that. And I've talked to the ex-wife
Yeah.
quite I tried to be friendly,
Civil. Yeah.
civil, and she was supposed to be my friend, my
No.
friend yelled,
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
um, back and forth.
Yeah.
And she has tried to manipulate me and muddy the water too.
Yeah.
She, I'm sorry, we may be getting ahead of ourselves,
No, that's right.
because I've asked her many times
Mm.
in the past when I was there, if he's your husband, I don't want him
Yeah.
because he's acting strange.
Yeah.
She says, no, 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 he's the worst mistake I've ever made.
Yeah.
But here, um, I may be mixing things up along the timeline with you on,
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
No,
I do. Um, so I threw him out
yeah.
and I start to do this annulment on my own,
Yeah.
but I know I'm not with it.
Yeah.
I just I'm on a low type of medication. It was good when it came out in 92,
Yeah.
but for 2023, I could
Yeah.
have been on a lot better medication.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I knew I couldn't do it. I couldn't handle it. So I got a lawyer and we went through the process. They, the person I feel is his wife, and they wouldn't let me know where he was at.
Yeah.
I contacted the work wife,
Yeah.
and she said she hadn't spoken to him since that time,
Yeah.
which I think she's lying about. I'm sorry. So here we come to May 2024.
Mhm.
And I'm not answering anyone, any of them from Cuba that are trying to contact me.
Yeah.
Because they want to soften the blow. They want to keep me complacent.
Yes. Yes.
She contacts me.
Mhm.
And the first thing, when you have someone contact you, a notification comes up at the top of your phone.
Yep.
And in that notification, it says, Ariel, oh, you'll have to bleep that. You'll have
Okay.
to. Sorry. He was scamming you from the beginning.
Mm.
He forced me to go and sign whatever. He used to beat me. So she's talking.
Mm.
I don't let her know that I'm going into court.
Yeah.
That I get my annulment because I didn't have any way to get him served. So I did this through publication.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, she's contacting me and she's trying to get me to pay her money. She's trying to get me to help her get a green card.
Mm-hmm.
She even tells me she's seeing this guy, Brandon, who's supposed to go see her this Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And he's from Oregon. I have
Yeah.
no idea how to reach this man. I wish I could.
Yeah.
She's taunting me.
Mm-hmm.
So she's sending in WhatsApp, she's sending all this information, 92 photos with screenshots of
Mm-hmm.
her conversation with her husband.
Mm-hmm.
And she's been deleting things. Well, guess what, honey? I hit the more button on WhatsApp and you can export it. I exported everything possible.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff flipped, but I exported everything possible to myself.
Yeah.
And I've seen where her head is huge,
Mm-hmm.
where he went back and had beat the crap out of her.
Mm.
And she's still helping him.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's still helping him.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
But where they were texting when we were in Guyana, and he's telling her, I'm waiting for the spoiled bag of piss to go to sleep so he can leave and talk to her.
Oh my gosh. And you got all those texts. Now, did you reach out to, did the annulment go through? Did you get,
Yes.
good. Wonderful. Now, did you submit any of this to USCIS, to immigration?
There's I had contacted the tip form
The
quite often.
tip line?
Yeah, and I'm not good with remembering if I got everything in there or not, so I've sent quite a few. And then remember there's the email address, so I sent some of it to the email address. I've been waiting. I have a address out of Missouri that I was told on the
that's
the US.
that's the benefits center. Yeah, that's the benefits
I
center.
was told to send it there. I haven't done that with the copy of the annulment yet because I sent it in email.
Okay.
And I intend to. I keep thinking, I need to do my civil. The reason I held off is because my brother was helping me with my timeline.
Yeah.
He's done a lot of things, not exactly immigration, but along the border.
Yeah.
So he was trying to help me with the timeline, send this to the county and see if they would press charges. They won't do nothing.
No, they won't do it. Yeah, you could
So
send
I'm
it like
going,
Oklahoma City is the USCIS office. And there's a USCIS office in Oklahoma City. I actually know one of the fraud officers there. If she's still there, she might be interested in this. We could see. But if you want, so you ended up that did you? How did he? How did it work financially? Did he do anything for you? I mean, what is some of the stuff that you went through besides just the fact that he kind of manipulated you and everything, but did he uh um
I I waited an appropriate time, I thought, after he started working in February,
mhm,
but he got on permanently in February of 23. He
yeah,
got on permanently with that company in April. So I asked him to start splitting some bills with me.
yeah,
And it was a fight every time. Frankly, there were three adults here,
yeah,
my son and me and my spouse.
yeah,
So my son split our bills in half
yeah,
with us. And then me and the spouse were supposed to split those bills in
yeah,
half.
yeah. So really not even a third, you know,
Right.
not even a third. If your son's doing half and you two have the other half, it's like 25% of piece. That's
It
crazy.
was a fight every time.
Yeah.
Um, every time. I uh so April, May, June, July,
Mhm.
August, September, and I don't remember about October. We split some bills,
Yeah.
but he wasn't going to have it on some bills like life insurance.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to pay for that.
Yeah.
He rarely paid for food,
Yeah.
you know. As a matter of fact, he I mean he used that VAWA pamphlet
Hmm.
like a how-to booklet.
Yeah.
I would get up and put his lunch together,
Yeah.
send with him, and the company he worked at, I I saw the cafeteria. It's a nice big cafeteria, vending machines, trash cans, but he would eat out of the vending machine, bring that food that I sent with him back home,
Yeah.
and he made sure to throw it out to the dog where I could see him, or he would point at food and tell me, I'm not eating that shit.
Yeah.
He very rarely ate the food I made.
Yeah.
It was never to
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Um, so
Mm.
that's just a way he kept me.
So he's basically emotionally and verbally abusive to you
Yeah,
in that whole time. I mean, that's what I'm hearing. He was very
yeah.
and
Half
did you
the
have
time I slept, about half the time I slept on the couch in the living room.
yeah.
And my son thought that was very odd.
Yeah.
Um, but he treated the relationship in the bedroom, he basically treated me like an 80-year-old pedophile, and he's a
Mm-hmm.
12-year-old boy
Mm-hmm.
sleeping on the very edge. I've got a huge king bed that my brother gave me.
Yeah.
He slept on the very edge,
Yeah.
and he kept his toothbrush in a travel thing. He wouldn't even set his toothbrush next to mine in the holder.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Things like that. All
Yeah.
kinds of things like that.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. It's crazy. It's crazy. Mm. Have when's the last time you talked to him?
Um, when he was here in person, um, I kept trying to talk to him because I had to solidify. Even still, I had to understand if this was that was November
Mhm.
of last year.
2023.
I had to get it in my head, because if this were at all in any way a valid marriage,
Mhm.
I needed to do the right thing and get a divorce.
Yeah.
It's just how I am.
Yeah.
It it's how I was raised.
Yeah.
Um I kept back and forth with him on
Mhm.
WhatsApp or even in person. I couldn't validate it in any way.
Yeah.
And so I got an annulment. It,
Yeah.
he tried contacting me about taxes.
Mhm.
I got my stuff straight away, and I went and paid my taxes. It was about $6,000
Yeah.
because of all the back pay on Social Security and pension.
Yeah.
Um, and I paid mine straight away.
Yeah.
And he wanted information about it, and I wouldn't talk to him. He
Yeah.
had his tax lady trying to contact me,
Yeah.
and I told her it's not my, he's gonna have to have someone else burp him and change his diapers from now on. That's not my problem anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
And actually, oh my gosh, I forgot something.
Mhm.
What
What's
I'm
it?
going through right now. I sent my annulment, a copy of it,
Mhm.
to my pensions.
Mhm.
There are two of them
Yeah.
that, when I applied for Social Security disability and got approved,
Yeah.
then I could apply for my pensions. Two of them I made as joint and survivor,
Okay.
so that if anything happened to me, he would have some money to feed his kids.
Yeah.
And I sent this to my pensions, and um they've allowed they changed my pension to an individual
Yeah.
as of June 2024.
Okay.
Then they respond to me saying, in cases of divorce. This isn't a divorce.
No, no,
This
no.
isn't and now all that back pay for the year and beyond that,
Yeah.
I'm out, and I have to take them to court, probably
Yeah.
get them to give me my money.
Yeah.
An annulment is
From the beginning of the marriage.
exception.
That's
It
right.
is
That's
invalid,
that was an
and they're
invalid marriage.
calling me on it. So that's about $1,000 a month
Yeah.
I've been out, not including the back pay
Yeah.
from when I initiated it.
Well, hopefully you at least got him off of it. He's not on it anymore. So
Oh, it's off. He's
yeah.
off, and
Yeah.
they're from June paying me my full amount.
Okay.
But I mean, that could, I don't know how much that is, between 20 and 40,000. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. From
But
what
I
he's
never would have signed it, that if I kept asking him at that point, in when I was filing for my pension, probably
yeah.
about
Yeah.
February, March of 23.
Yeah.
Are you my husband?
Yeah.
Because of how he was.
He just didn't act
Because
like
I'm
he
so
was
upset. Huh?
wasn't being a husband.
No. Mm-mm.
Yeah. Well, okay. I got you. I understand. Oh.
And I still couldn't understand. And I would not have filled out my pension
Yeah.
that way, because look at all the money I've lost.
Mhm.
And I don't know if I can get it back. I have to fight my own pension.
I know. I'm sorry. Just to get that straightened out from what he's done. It's very, very,
Uh, Now his wife's threatening me online on our page.
yeah.
She's on there, and I don't respond because she's got bubble guts.
Yeah.
And I want her and him both to spend every leisure moment on the toilet
Yeah.
because of what they've put me through.
Yeah.
And it
But we
keeps
could,
her.
yeah, we could talk offline, especially if you want to set up a time when your son's available, so that I could talk to him too, and I may be able to walk you through some stuff that you can do to make sure you take care of some of this stuff. We could set up another day for that. So, uh,
Would you, my son or my brother? My brother has.
your brother would be great. I'll be glad to do that. We could set up something maybe next week, and we can talk about that. We'll take care of that. So, but you got an annulment, and he's out of your life. Do you know where he's at now, or
Yes.
you do?
Yes, I do, even though they haven't. Um, I have not. Uh, I've not, racked up credit cards or anything like that. But
Yep.
there's ways you can, when you have information, you can get online to at
Yeah.
least sleuth.
Yeah.
So I know where he is.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would say don't contact him and try not to have anything to do with him because that makes it look bad on your end. But
Yeah, I don't
hopefully,
want to.
yeah.
Um,
But we do
I
want to make sure that the federal government knows that the big thing, Penny, is we want to make sure that the government knows what he's done, that USCIS, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, knows that this marriage was annulled and that he defrauded you in the process and the government for doing that. They should at least know that stuff. Now, he's Cuban, and that's a special case. We could talk, that's a different subject altogether, but I'm sorry you went through this. And I can tell, I mean, yeah, he's pretty much taken advantage of you because of your health conditions and just really run amok. It's tragically it happens a lot more than you think. You're not alone in that. I want you to know that you're not alone in that, and they do know what they're doing. It's very sad. So,
appreciate it, Rich. I'm on better medication now
yeah.
as of June of this year.
Mhm.
So I'm I'm able to see more
Yeah, you
and
understand it a little bit better now. So,
stressing because you're watching yourself decline when
yes.
you go over a past timeline. And
Yeah.
it's scary what things, uh, what diseases can do to you.
Yeah. I appreciate it, Penny. Yeah, I understand. I understand. So, well,
Thank
listen,
you for,
I'm gonna. Do you have anything else you want to add, or I'm gonna stop the recording for now. We may do this again just to get some more information from you as we go along. But
I'll, I'll remember a whole lot as soon as we're done talking.
that's typical. That's normal. Write it down, get it ready. But I appreciate it. Well, I think I've got a gist of a basic common theme that we see over and over again. And hopefully, have you heard anything from USCIS or immigration? Because it's if he came in 2022,
He got a 10-year card
he's got a 10-year card now.
from the get-go.
Oh, that's because you guys were married already in Cuba.
We're married
That's right.
in 2018, but
Yep.
I didn't see him for 2 years.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It goes from the time you're married to the moment he walked in the door. I wasn't thinking about that. He wasn't, he's never been a conditional resident. He got his 10-year card. So that's revocable because of the annulment. It should be with whether they'll do it or not. That's a different issue. But, um,
Well, on top of that,
well, let's see what,
I didn't know it at the time. Um, we're supposed to show our income,
yeah,
and I had a work injury
yeah,
that I was receiving money for,
yeah.
but the lawyer that I had um miscalculated.
Uh-huh.
So really, I never met the economic goal that I was supposed to meet because he was off like a year or two.
Hmm.
I stopped receiving that income in
Okay.
October 22.
Okay. Okay. Hmm.
So
Yeah.
it the information I gave was incorrect.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Just to go
Wasn't
back over the, well, I think we'll stop the recording now. And I got to confirm one thing with you. We did record this. I just want to make sure you're aware that I'm recording it and that you're okay with me putting this on YouTube for educational purposes and just kind of building our case up. All right. Is
Yes,
that good?
yes. If
Super.
there's any way at all we can I can give you the information about this guy in Oregon.
Mhm.
Maybe we can prevent someone else from going through the same crap.
Yeah, you
She's
can. You can forward some, if you got any information like her name and stuff like that, send it to me and I can send it over to people and get that. I'm gonna stop the recording.